Hey everyone, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get a faux salvaged wood look. This video is for all of you that love the rusty and the crusty, but maybe can't find it in your local thrift stores or Habitat for Humanities. I want to show you how to get the look yourself. So let's get right into the video.
So we are going to be starting off with these massive bookends. They are from, it's weird, I thought they were corbels, but they're definitely bookends, and they're from like Lamps Plus year 1996. And I got them for $7.49. I was like, oh, you guys can't see that. $7.49 at Savers for the set. So we are going to start off with SaltWash and Sandy Blonde by DIY Paint. SaltWash and DIY products are all available on my website, unicorndustdesigns.com. You're going to need the SaltWash to create this look. The texture that SaltWash gives you is going to be way different than baking soda. It's going to hold its form and it is going to give you the salvaged, chippy, worn look we need. So I am going to start off by pouring the Sandy Blonde in, and then I'm just doing a little bit of Tarnished Pearl just to dull down that cream, not the cream, like tannish color that the Sandy Blonde is. Once I achieve the color I'm going for, I'm going to put in some SaltWash. Now, the more SaltWash you put in, the more texture you're going to achieve. So don't be afraid of it. Start off with a little and then work your way up if you're not getting what you want. So my first coat is like a thick sonic blast shake. Okay, that's the consistency we're going for first. I am taking a chip brush and I am going to brush this on using different strokes. So I'm using brush strokes, then I'm stippling it on. Whatever I want to say, like whatever texture you give it. So if we do the stippling and we create those peaks and ridges, that's how it's going to dry down. If you do a brush stroke and you see all those strokes in your paint, it is going to dry down and stay like that. So I am going all different ways. I am slapping this paintbrush around, okay? I want all different, I'm going to say texture a lot, depth in this, so you can see close up how all of it looks different. You have peaks, ridges, it looks great. I'm going to do the same step for our second little bookend. Oh my goodness. Okay, now that that is completely dry, I wanted to show you a close up of how much texture we achieved with that SaltWash. So this is the first coat. This is what we're starting with to cover the original bookend. And this is going to help us kind of build on to it because we want it to look like, 5 different paint layers have been on this piece. So now I am taking Beadboard, it is, and I am going to use a lot of SaltWash with this. Now the beadboard even had like some of the clay film on the top of the container. I threw that in there too. That is going to give me some nice chunky spots in here. And I am going for a dry SaltWash. So I do not want it runny at all. Do you see that? It looks like dirt. And that's what I want. I want it almost dry to the touch when I go in to use it. After I'm done mixing this up, I'm going to straight take it in my hand, okay? I am messy. I do not care. You can put gloves on. You do you, boo. And I am going to just go ham with this. I'm going to smear this all over our bookends. And I am going to do a bunch of different things. I'm pushing it into those creases. I do not mind if there are big chunks in some places either. The big chunks and the thicker the SaltWash, the longer your piece is going to take to dry. So keep that in mind. I am just using my fingers to get into all of the nooks and crannies that are on this bookend. I am going to be stippling this with my hands, so kind of just like smacking the bookend. And then I will also be using my fingers to kind of create lines almost like a paintbrush would do. Now, as I keep doing it, you can go back because, like I said, it takes a while for it to set up. And you can see all of that chunkiness. You can see the layers of the paint underneath. And then to get in those hard to reach spaces, we are just going to get a chippy brush. I love these for their bristles. I'm also going to go over what I just did just to give it a different look so it's not all uniform. Now, as I go through the back, I'm going to just smear it on in. We want to get every angle of this bookend because you never know how somebody's going to want to display it. Now, those chunky little clay parts from my paint, I am rubbing that in there because I want that chunkiness. Okay, so I wanted to show you on the side right here how I'm kind of stippling it with my hand. Then I'm going through with my finger and going up and down to create some lines. And again, the whole thing is just being messy with this. Not anything should be uniform when achieving this look. And you can see all like on the right, that like clay right there, the bulkiness, and then you have all of these different depths going on in your piece. And that is exactly what we are going for. We are going to go in with another layer of paint now. And this is going to be like that top coat of a weathered piece of wood that is now chipping.
All right, you guys, before we get to the last couple of steps in this project, I really quickly wanted to come on here and say thank you guys so much for giving me such a successful launch of the DIY paint products. I truly, and I keep saying this all over my social media, but I truly do feel very, very grateful to have such an amazing, supportive community that like always shows up for me, always, whether that be for the DIY paints or what I'm currently going through in my personal life. Thank you so very much. I don't think that you guys realize how much it means to me and my family and how connected I feel with you guys, even though I have never met any of you. So thank you very much for being a part of my life, a part of this community. And I hope you guys are enjoying this video. All of the products that you see, the DIY paints and the SaltWash is available on my website, unicorndustdesigns.com. I did just put in an order to restock all the paints. So give me a couple weeks and I will have all of the stock back. I do have the brushes now available on the website as well. And you guys, you all know the drill. If you're digging me, if you're digging the DIYs, if you are digging this video, then make sure to like, subscribe, and share it on out. It helps your girl out so much. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the final steps of this faux salvaged wood video.
As I was saying, the last step, I'm taking this little bit of Farm Fresh I had left and I put water in it. And I put a lot of water in it because I want the consistency liquidy. I don't want any kind of thickness to this because again, we are trying to achieve that weathered piece of wood, the layers of wood, and this top paint coat would be the first layer to come off of that piece of wood. So I am going to get our liquidy, yummy Farm Fresh. Remember, all the paints are available on unicorndustdesigns.com, or at least they will be in 2 weeks when I restock. And I am brushing this on, not trying to get any kind of full coverage. Now, once I get a good base layer on this for the Farm Fresh, I am going to come in with a spray bottle and I am going to put a good amount of water. I want the water to be running down my piece. I want the little drips. I want it all. Then I take a paper towel, you could take an old t-shirt, whatever you want, and I'm going to blot off the excess of water. Now with DIY paints, they're water soluble, so they are going to reactivate with water. So we can, if you wanted to press down on it, almost like distress it, you can get down to not only the first white coat or the second white coat, but also that sandy blonde coat as well. It's completely up to you. Now you'll see right here what that water does when I start blotting it off, how much the white starts coming through as I blot it. Do you see that? So this is where we're going to be getting kind of like the chippy wood color from. And some of you might be looking at this and saying, I don't think it looks like wood, but I think it does. So, so you can see right here, I don't mind those runs. I even on the second one left some of it runny and it created this beautiful spot on here. But you can see right here, I put a good amount of water to where it is dripping down that piece, and then I blot it off, and I really, really love the finish on this. Do you see that drip right there? Well, as I start putting paint over it, and then I spritz it with water again and start wiping it down, that drip stayed. And I was like, oh my gosh, your girl was drooling over here. You guys know how much I love wood, and now I kind of want to do this with everything. All right, now we are going to apply our DIY clear wax. I am just using a generic wax brush, and I am going to buff it into there. Remember, like I said, the DIY paints are water soluble, so they will be reactivated until you seal them. So we are going to seal them. Now, while this clear wax is still wet, we do not want it to dry down. We are going to go in with Milk Pickens Grit. It is a gray grit, and DIY does have dark and decrepit in a brown and a white. However, I did not want it that dark. I loved this really light and airy color, so I didn't want to deepen the color with the brown, dark, and decrepit dust. So I'm using the Milk Pickens ones. You can get this grit from upcycledbybrie.com. And I am taking my stencil brush from Dollar Tree, and I am pushing it into that clear wax. The clear wax is going to pick this up and hold it for us. You don't have to do any kind of clear coat on top of this. But make sure you're doing this step after the wax, because if you put the wax over this, it is just going to smear and make a gross mess. So after, look at how good this adheres, you guys. And it just ties everything in. And then you are going to take another chip brush and you are going to dust the remainder of that grit off of your piece, and then you're going to be left with this beautiful faux dusty dirty look. And I made sure to put it in all of these spots that would naturally have it. And I was so amazed with how this turned out. And again, you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, how many times is she going to say texture? But look at all of the texture we achieved using that salt wash, multiple layers. And I did not do anything fancy with the application of it. And I love the way these turned out. And I'm going to show you pictures of close-ups too. I was so proud of them, you guys. So I wanted to give you another look at that grit in there, the different layers of paint that came through. And you guys know that all of these products are available on my website, unicorndustdesigns.com. These are also going to be listed on my website for purchase, and they are massive, y'all. Thank you guys for spending your time with me. Let me know how you liked this format of video, and I will be seeing you soon. Yes! I hope you guys like this, because I literally want to do this on everything. On everything. I have this. Watch, you guys. I hope there's not spiders under here. I want to turn this into faux salvaged wood like we did with that.